Hey, this is Sugar Hill. You're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. And with me via Zoom, I'm delighted to be joined by the new head of community development at Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Alex Le Guevel. Alex, good afternoon to you. Happy Friday. Firstly, how you doing?
Very good, mate. Very, very good. Yeah, loving hitting the ground running, and yeah, let's do this.
Excellent. Congratulations on securing the new role at Matchroom. Just talk to us how that's all sort of come about into place, Alex.
Well, for a number of years, I've been obviously my previous role was with England Boxing, the national governing body, for 5.5 years, and something I've been really trying to develop in my previous role was a better link between the amateurs and the pros. You know, I've been involved in the amateur side of the sport, professional side of the sport for obviously Kieran Conway, where we've met in the past, and yeah, just trying to form better links. And I've met Frank Smith at various different shows in the past, pitched a few ideas to him, you know, over a period of time. And I guess Frank's now seen that, you know, rather than me working on this side of the fence, let's bring this guy on board and let's really make a big difference. So, yeah, it's amazing to, you know, have created a role within an organisation like Matchroom, but it's even more amazing the impact that role is going to have. So, really excited to get started.
Well, it's exciting times. I mean, the more people that are getting involved in boxing, the better. So, with this new role, is it fair to say that you're going to be looking to work outside of sort of Northampton and perhaps maybe cover the whole of the UK, or is it strictly the sort of area that you're in now?
No, absolutely, mate. It's going to be a national role to begin with, and potentially, I mean, the scope for it's even moving international, I'd say, moving forward. So, you know, we make a success of this in the UK and around the UK shows and what Matchroom are delivering to their UK partners, and then, you know, let's look to see what we can do abroad as well. So, you know, Matchroom's a global business, and I think eventually this role will look to do exactly the same. We'll be looking to expand and grow, and you know, boxing's a sport that transforms people's lives, not just in Northampton or around the sort of the East Midlands. It's far exceeds that. So yeah, the sky's the limit, really.
Well, obviously, when we talk about boxing, we obviously look at grassroots and amateur boxing and the Olympic side of things. Is it fair to say that you're perhaps maybe some of your focus would be towards the amateur side to sort of look at the next sort of generation that are coming through to get them in the pro game?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're looking to do is, you know, I think Matchroom and you know, at the top level, everyone understands that you don't reach the top level of professional boxing without the grassroots. Everyone starts in the clubs, the amateur boxing clubs. So, you know, what we need to do is we need to try and give back, strengthen those clubs, strengthen the boxers, the kind of provision they get, the coaching pathways, the structures, everything. If we can help in terms of funding and those kind of things to create more sustainable clubs, so that they're more financially secure, so that more people can get through the door, and, you know, there's more opportunities for more people as a result of Matchroom giving back, and that's what the role is really all about. And you know, I guess we probably will unearth some more hidden gems and some more talent by being involved at that level as well. So, you know, there's huge benefits. That really the big benefits to the clubs. You know, hopefully we're going to be able to, with Matchroom's position as, you know, the world's leading global boxing promoter, there's so many ways we can give back. So that's what it's all about.
I've known you for a number of years now. As you mentioned, you know, we bumped into each other. I've come down to the Shoebox gym to carry out interviews in the past, and you know, I've always enjoyed going down there. What's your involvement with Team Shoebox? Will you still be with Team Shoebox, or is your focus going to be fully on this new role?
Yeah, no, I'll still be there, mate. Still be there. It's great. It's you know, I think the press release went out announcing the role a couple of days ago, and it was all kind of like my phone was going mad. Everyone's like, "Congratulations, this is incredible!" And within an hour, I was straight back down the gym on the body bag, getting filled in off all the lads. You know, there's nothing like that to bring you back down to earth and humble you. So yeah, no, I'll still be there, mate. Still wrapping the hands, doing the cuts. Involved with the amateur side of the club as well, because obviously my previous role was the club support officer for the area, so it's the bread and butter, you know, supporting the club. We've got various projects outside of your traditional boxing as well, so we run a neuro boxing session for people with Parkinson's, boxing for people from the homeless community, boxing in prisons, kids on free school meals that are eligible to or eligible free school meals. They're coming in during the holidays for like a holiday hunger session. You name it, we're involved in that. And yeah, as much as I can around the new role, I'll still be down there and involved. And yeah, it's gonna be great, mate.
Well, let's just say me and you sat down in 3 years' time, and I asked you, what is it that you want to achieve? What are the targets that you'd have wanted to have accomplished within the next 3 years, Alex?
I mean, if you look at that, I'd say generally speaking, it'd be hard to quantify it, but this particular one, but really just shining a brighter light on the grassroots community level boxing, and using Matchroom'S platforms, utilizing their the reach that they have. I think the opportunities are absolutely endless, to be honest, for that. There's various different ideas and programs that I've got in my mind already as to how things work. But equally, I'm open to ideas from the boxing community as well. So if anyone is sitting out there in the same way I had what I thought was a great idea, and I was fortunate enough to be in a position where I could pitch it to Frank Smith and end up in the position I'm in now, which still blows my mind, to be honest. But if I managed to do it, then who's to say that someone sat out there now can't pitch an idea to Frank or to myself, and then we can see if we can run with that and really make a difference. So yeah, it's all about bridging those gaps. So rather than sort of quantifying it or putting it into like, oh, this is what I want to achieve at this stage, I think generally speaking, I just want to help bridge the gap between the amateurs or grassroots and the pros, and then see where it goes.
So, I mean, can we say that perhaps maybe you're a new hope to help deliver fights like Fury versus Joshua? I mean, is there anything you can tell us about this new role and that you might offer differently to what the promoters are doing right now? I mean, because there's some big fights out there that fight fans do want to see, and you said you're open to ideas. So talk to us, Alex. I mean, give us some sort of hope that we're going to get these fights at some point.
Fingers crossed, mate, because at the end of the day, those huge fights are what engage the audience and engage people and make them want to follow in the footsteps of their heroes. So, if those big fights happen, everyone benefits. Everyone, the boxers, the promoters, but most importantly, it's the young kids that are looking to get into the sport. They're going to watch their heroes on television and think, maybe I want to do that one day, and that's what it's all about. So fingers crossed. It's probably a little bit out of my sort of remit at the moment with my role, but if there's anything I can do, then I'll certainly be sat in the office with the guys and saying, come on, let's try and make it work, shall we? So even if it's that, then hopefully I can help a little bit.
Well, now that obviously you joined Matchroom Boxing, you're going to be getting asked tons of questions in regards to specific fights that fans want to see. You're going to be asked questions about rumors around the boxing world. So I'm going to pick your brains a little bit. News broke to us yesterday in regards to Canelo signing a free fight deal with the PBC. First fight is scheduled to be one of the Charlo brothers. I believe it's Jamal Charlo. Canelo's last few years, he's been with Matchroom. They've delivered some huge nights for him. His last fight was against John Ryan in his home country of Mexico. Just get your thoughts on Jamal Charlo being the next opponent for Canelo and him moving over to the PBC.
It's well, I mean, Canelo's he's kind of done a little bit like what Mayweather's done. He's taken control of his own career, isn't he? So I guess he is a free agent, and what he's doing is he's hopping between different channels to make the fights that he wants to make. So I don't necessarily think it's anything to do with which promoter is promoting the fights. I think it's just who he wants to fight. He's going to try and make the fights. I'm sure that it's that's the way everyone would probably see it. I mean, I've been fortunate enough as part of the team with Team Shoebox to obviously go out. Kieran's boxed on a couple of Canelo shows, so I know just how big they have been. I can't even explain what Dallas was like for the Billy Joe Saunders fight. I mean, that was just mind blowing, the size of the event. And from watching Guadalajara a few weeks back, it's no one does them bigger than Matchroom. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But in terms of the fight, I think Canelo beats him. I think I can't remember, when did Charlo last fight? I don't know. It's
21, I believe.
Yeah, a long time ago. It's I think is ring rust the thing? I don't know, but I think Canelo wins that fight. But he's in charge of his own career, and he's picking the fights that make the most sense to him. So fair play to him.
Speaking of Kieran Conway, a guy that you work with closely, he was last scheduled to fight Linus Adofio, but obviously an injury ruled him out of that fight. Alex, what can you tell us about the extent of that injury? How's Kieran doing in terms of his recovery, and can that fight with Linus at some point sort of be rescheduled? It's a great British domestic fight, which fight fans would like to see.
100%. It's a brilliant fight. It's a great fight for both guys, and absolutely, that's Kieran's focus is overcoming the injury, getting fit, and getting ready to go. That is the focus for Kieran, and a fully fit Kieran Conway is a real handful for anyone in the boxing world, no matter what level. I fully expect him to get fit and be ready to go very soon. I saw him earlier today, and he's in really good spirits. Fingers crossed that fight we made. I know it all kind of depends on which shows are coming up, all sorts of different things. But yeah, fingers crossed he'll be back in the ring soon, doing what he does best.
Alex, we're 5 weeks away from a monumental fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have discussed this down the gym. I'm pretty sure you've had discussions with family, friends, the guys you work with at Matchroom. Who are you putting your money on for that fight? Who walks away with all the gold in that fight?
Mate, very, very tricky. It's a hell of a fight, that. I mean, it's the fight, it's like the Holy Grail, isn't it? Everyone's been waiting so long for the fight. It's finally happening. I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to believe it's happening until they're both in the ring, the way it's gone. But how do I see it? Do you know what? It's tough because Crawford's probably been a little bit more active, and I like Crawford. I think he's got like a real sort of spitefulness to his work. Even if he's sort of 11th, 12th round, he's still looking to take you out, and more often than not he does. And to be honest, I'd have to go with Crawford as well, because we've got a lad down the gym, Ben Elijah, and he looks just like Terence Crawford. We actually could all call him Bud. So I would have to side with Terence Crawford, but it's a hell of a fight. Errol Spence is an amazing boxer. He's a tough guy. Look what he's come through inside and outside the ring. It's a 50-50, mate. But I like Crawford. I like the way he's spiteful. I like fighters that have got that little nasty streak in them. And I'd go Crawford.
Alex, do you not think that the smaller weights, obviously within the sort of last 6 weeks, we've had Garcia versus Tank, we've had Haney versus Lomachenko, we've had Taylor versus Lopez, and now we're going to get Spence and Crawford. Do you not think that the big guys up in the heavyweight division, the Furies, the Usyks, the Joshua, do you not think that they're looking down on these smaller weights and thinking it's time to get our act in order? We need to deliver these big fights now.
I really hope so, because if in boxing, if the heavyweight division's thriving, the whole sport's thriving. So the smaller weights, they do seem to make the fights. We saw yesterday, Sonny Edwards, Bam Rodriguez. What a fight! You can't really get much better than that. The two best guys in the division, hell of a fight, and that's what it's all about. It's the best fight and the best. Everyone says you see it in the UFC. That's why that's sort of grown to such an extent. Different models, obviously, but the best fight the best, and that is what fight fans want to see. And I think we're beginning to see that with your Spence Crawfords, with these huge fights. But if the heavyweight division, there's nothing in sport that's bigger than a heavyweight title fight. It doesn't get bigger. Being the heavyweight champion of the world is still the absolute pinnacle of all sport. I think they'll happen. I think they will. Everyone's got to be. I know the hard work's being done behind the scenes. We've got to stay positive, and no doubt it will happen.
Fingers crossed. Right, Alex. Before we let you go, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, there's just massive thanks for inviting me on, mate. It's brilliant, and moving forward, there's going to be so many brilliant community initiatives that we're going to be involved in. It's such a blank canvas. That's the most exciting thing about this role. And I'd say to anyone, as I said earlier, I'm in this position because I've worked hard, I've dedicated myself, and I've persevered. So if anyone's sat out there and they're thinking, I want to get involved in boxing, I think I've got something to add, then just keep going, reach out to people, keep working hard, and you can get there. And fingers crossed, we can begin to make a real difference with these new types of role.
Absolutely, well said, Alex. Well, once again, Alex, many congratulations on securing the role as the head of community development with Matchroom Boxing. We wish you all the best going forward, and hopefully we'll see you soon in a few weeks at Northampton at the Shoebox gym. Absolutely, mate. Always welcome. Alex, enjoy your weekend, and thank you very much for your time, and thank you for talking to Lights Out. You too, buddy. Thank you. Thank you very much.